Hey guys, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. On Monday, we had some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, so I'm using this shaved steak that I found over at Walmart. First off, I'm just going to heat up some olive oil in my skillet and then dump that right on in. For my seasonings, I'm using the Grill Mates Montreal Steak Seasoning by McCormick, as well as several dashes of Worcestershire sauce. So I'm just going to give that a good toss to make sure that everything got seasoned well, and this took no time at all to cook up since it is so thinly sliced, which I love. For my bread, I found these at the clearance spot over at Kroger's. So I just split those open, and then I took a toothpick and stuck those through the middle so that they would stay open without breaking, and I just popped those under my broiler for about a minute and a half. So for the cheese, I'm using this stadium style cheese sauce by Great Value. I just heated that up in my microwave. I originally was going to use some provolone cheese, but I saw this and it just sounded better to me at the moment. But here is what it looked like all put together. How good does that look? These turned out awesome. It's been so long since we've had these. And then for the side, I have some of these Alexia brand tater tots seasoned with roasted garlic and cracked black pepper. I cooked those in my air fryer. They were also really delicious. And then I also have a side of green grapes. On Tuesday, we had some chicken taco bowls. So the recipe called for salsa, and as many of you know, I don't like onions, so I can't buy the jarred stuff. So I just made a really simple one with just some petite diced tomatoes with green chilies, some regular diced tomatoes, oregano, garlic powder, cumin, and cayenne pepper, as well as a lime and some cilantro. So I'm just going to stick all of that into my blender. So I did drain the can of diced tomatoes, and then I just dumped in the other can with the green chilies. Then I added in my spices. So we have a tablespoon of oregano, a teaspoon of the garlic powder, half a tablespoon of cumin, and then a quarter tablespoon of the cayenne pepper. And then next, I just cut that lime in half and I squeezed all of the juice out of it. And then I put about a teaspoon of the cilantro in as well. And then I just put the top on the blender and let it pulse for a few seconds. Then I put a lid on it and I popped it in my fridge for about an hour. So now on to the rest of the recipe. For the ingredients, we have about a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast, some white long grain rice, taco seasoning, that's salsa, some frozen corn, black beans, and some reduced sodium chicken broth. So I'm just going to put all of this into my Instant Pot. Everyone else served theirs in a tortilla, but I put mine in a bowl topped with some sour cream and some of this queso fresco cheese. I'm probably saying that wrong. I also have a wedge of lime and some avocado slices seasoned with some pepper and salt. This was so delicious, and as always, the recipe will be linked in my description box. Wednesday was such a beautiful day. We have had so much rain and flooding here in Kentucky, so I wanted to take advantage of the warmer weather and grill out some turkey burgers. To go along with that, I made a really simple pasta salad. So I have some bow tie pasta, some diced cucumbers and tomatoes, and some Olive Garden Italian dressing. So I just mix all of that together in my bowl, and I let it chill in the fridge for at least an hour before I go to serve it. I served those burgers on some whole wheat hamburger buns with some mayo, mustard, and Kobe Jack cheese, and it paired so nicely with that fresh and cool pasta salad. This meal took me back to summer days, which I am so looking forward to. This was a perfect end to a really good day. Next up, I'm going to be making some buttermilk to marinate some chicken in. So I'm just going to take 1 tablespoon of white vinegar and add that to my measuring cup. And then I'm just going to fill it up to the 1 cup line with some milk. So I am using some chicken drumsticks, and I just wanted to show how budget friendly these are. I got that whole package for just $1.90. So I'm just going to add all of my chicken legs into this large bowl. And then I'm going to pour the buttermilk over the top, pop a lid on, and put it in my fridge for at least 2 hours to soak. So I am going to be making some fried chicken. For the breading, I'm going to be using this Bloomfield Farms seasoned flour that I've had in my pantry for a while. And to make this healthier, I am going to be air frying it instead of deep frying. And if anyone is interested in those parchment liners, I will have those linked below. So I'm just going to take my chicken and dunk it into the flour first, back into the buttermilk, and then into the flour one more time. And I'm just going to place all of those into my basket. I gave them a mist of olive oil and I cooked those at 360, turning halfway through. I didn't mention the minutes because it took like double the time that the recipe called for, but I'm pretty sure that's my fault because I overcrowded the pan. So definitely don't do that if you do try this, but they did turn out delicious and I can't wait to make them again. I served it with some corn on the cob and some homemade mashed potatoes with some brown gravy. And here is the kids' plates. Riley didn't eat any of it and Boston just had his corn, but I just wanted to throw this clip in there to show that I do offer them the things that Josh and I eat most of the time, even when I know it's going to be a fail. And just a little tip, if you have any chicken broth in your fridge that you need to use up, throw it in your pot with your potatoes when you want to make some mashed potatoes because it adds so much flavor. On Friday, I tried a new recipe for a beefy nacho soup. So I just started off by browning up 1 pound of ground beef, draining off that grease, and then adding in a whole package of taco seasoning, followed by some milk. I also added in a can of ranch-style beans. I've had these in my pantry for a while, and I didn't really know how to use them up, so I just dumped them on in here. The recipe didn't call for it, but I thought that would be a nice addition, and I was right. I also added in some Fiesta Nachos Soup, as well as a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. And then for the final ingredient, I just added in a good handful of sharp shredded cheese. I just mixed all of that together, let it come up to a boil, and I simmered that for about 15 to 20 minutes. This was the easiest recipe ever. It took no time to come together. I topped mine with some sour cream, a little bit more shredded cheese, and some of these wonton strips, or you could use some crushed tortilla chips. This was just so good, and the leftovers were even better. And I think next time I would try to add in some macaroni noodles. I think that would be really good too. The next night, we went out to eat at a local pizza place. Josh's work schedule recently changed, and he is now off on Saturdays and Sundays, which is super nice because out of our whole 9+ year relationship, he has never had Saturdays off, and Riley's faces are cracking me up in this clip. On Sunday, we had breakfast for dinner, so I just made some waffles. I'm using the Aunt Jemima Buttermilk mix. I just followed the directions on the side of the box, so I just had to add like water and a little bit of vegetable oil. And then also I had some of this Premier Protein chocolate powder mix in my pantry that I need to use up, so I just went ahead and added a scoop into the mix, and I added in a little bit more water until it came to the right consistency. These didn't turn out as chocolatey as I wanted. I couldn't really tell that the mix was in there, but it was nice to have that added protein. And I just topped those with some of this great value version of Nutella with some slices of strawberries. These were so yummy. They were so filling, and I served that with some bacon on the side. So that's going to wrap up this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and got some inspiration. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.